Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guide. This is the episode number 11 of the C++ for Beginner series, and in this video we are going to learn about conditionals. So the basic idea is that conditionals are a part of control flow. So what is control flow? Well, it's basically the order in which the program executes. So for example, if I go here and I write C out and I say 1, and then I maybe put a new line after that, and then I this line will execute as soon as the program starts. But if I go down here and I paste this line again, and I just put 2 here, so we are pretty much guaranteed that the line with 1 will execute first. So 1 will be printed first, and then we will execute the 2 line. So this is basically how control flow works, and if I start, you should see that it is indeed that way. And let it actually start, and yeah, you can see that it works, and it says 1 and 2. It will never actually execute 2 before 1, so this will never execute before that. So this is basically control flow, and this is known as sequence, which means that normally everything in your program executes from top to bottom, and everything is and you can be guaranteed that it will execute that way. But there are ways to change this sequence by adding stuff like conditionals and some other things. So basically in control flow you have got sequence, repetition, and conditional. So we are learned about sequence, it's basically simple, and now we are going to learn about conditionals, and in the future videos we will also learn about repetition. So let us begin now, and I'm actually going to remove all of this because we do not need all of this anymore. So yeah, the basic idea that we are going to do this now is that let us go here and let us consider a simple program that we want to create, in which let's say that the user enters a number and we want to determine whether it's even or odd. So first let's create the actual number. I'm going to create a variable of type integer and call it num and not initialize it, and then I'm going to go out and say cout, and then I'm going to basically had this output thing, and you can put here something like enter a number, so a number, like that, and we can put a colon after that, and this here. So now we need to take in the number, and that is all good. Now let us actually so basically we are taking the number using common input, and we have discussed this before. So yeah, and now the important thing to notice here is that these lines will execute in order. So we will execute the line 13, and then we will execute the line 14, and then let's say we want to okay, let's not do that actually right now. So this will execute, and then we will execute the cout, and then we will execute the cin. So we want to actually do it a bit differently, depending on whether the number is odd or even. If the number is even, we want to say it's even, and if it's odd, then we want to say it's odd. So how to do that? Well, in order to do that, we are going to say cout, and I'm going to say number, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to add is, and I'm obviously adding spaces at the right place, and then I'm going to say is even, and put a new line after that. And yeah, that's awesome. And we want to actually change it depend, and then I'm going to actually add another line here, and which is going to be is odd. So now we don't want to execute these 2 lines at the same time. We want to execute the first line only and only if the number is even, and we want to execute the second line only and if the number is odd. And we do not want these 2 lines to execute together, and we do not want these 2 lines to not execute at all. So how that is going to work? And we obviously want this to be executed according to the correct condition. For that, we are going to use conditional. So the way that will work is that we will provide a special piece of code with a condition that we must be true if you want to execute a particular statement. In order to do that, you just need to say if, literally the word if. This is a keyword in C++, and then you need to put a pair of parentheses after that, and then you need to put a statement block that is a pair of curly brackets, and then you can you can see it's giving us an error inside of here, and the reason that it's giving that is that we are not providing it with a condition yet that must be there. So and this curly brackets, and between them whatever you put in there will execute if the condition is true. So let us try to put the condition here, which is whether the number is even. In order to find that out, we can take the remainder of the number and it is divided by 2, which you can do using the modulus or percentage operator. So just put the modulus operator here, which is the percentage sign in C++, which gives you the remainder of the number when it's divided by another number. So yeah, we put that operator, then we put 2, and then we need to check whether this is equal to 0. The way you do that is you basically put 2 equals. So the reason you put 2 equals is because you need to well, if you put one equal, then it will be, so if we put two equals and then we want to put zero here at the other side, and you can see it's giving us an error if we put one equal, because that means that we are setting the value to be a particular thing. And the reason it's not working is because num, when it's divided by 2, is not a it's a constant, you can't change that. But if you put the variable here, it only gives a warning. So you need to put two equal signs to make sure that it checks whether it's equal to 0 or not, or else it will set the number to be equal to 0, and now it will check if the number is 0 or not. So that's pretty awesome. You need to make sure that you put two signs here, and then we can put this statement inside of here, and you can use a shortcut present in Visual Studio to do that. Just press alt and press the above arrow. So if you press the alt key on your keyboard and then you press the above arrow, then you should be able to move the line kind of really easily. And I'm going to indent that line by pressing tab, and I'm going to kind of clean stuff up a bit. So that's pretty awesome. Now this line is even will only execute if the number that we enter is actually even. However, if it's not even, then it will not execute this line and it will say odd. But if it is even, it will also stay odd despite that. And we want to make sure that it only says is odd if the number is actually not even, that is, it's odd. So you might be tempted to add another if statement here and kind of reverse this, but the way you actually need to do that is by you can actually use another special statement here called else. So the way it works is that you put else keyword here, which is if else, and else can only come after if, and then you put a block of code again like that in your if, but else obviously does not need a condition because it's only happening if the if statement is not working, and then you can put the line that you want to execute if the if statement is not true. Alright, so let's take a complete overview of what we have done so far. So all you need to do is we are taking the number, and then we are taking the number inside, and then we are putting an if statement, and then we are checking if the number, when it's divided by 0, its remainder is equal to 0, divided by 2, its remainder is equal to 0, which means that the number is even. And if that is the case, we are saying that the number is even to the user. And if that does not work, which means the statement that above condition is false, then we are saying else, and then we are saying is odd. And in the end we can say something like goodbye, and this will continue executing normally. So we will execute the first two lines normally, and then we will do this if statement if it's particularly true, and then we will do the else statement if that's not true, and then we will execute normally after that. So if I put like this, it will execute the goodbye correctly. So let's play and see, start and see what it is like. So I'm going to put a number here, and it says that 7 is odd, and let's try to do a number with that. So let's put a even number like 6, and you can see it says 6 is even, and you can see that that is pretty much working perfectly. So this our program worked like it was supposed to. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, and bye.